And welcome to No Summer Required Podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing. And now, instead of your trio, tune in for a special episode with your duo of hosts, starting with Audrey, burn them all to the ground, Ember, and of course, your Dark Lord of the interwebs, Roberto Blake. Welcome to No Summer Required Podcast, filmed in front of a live YouTube audience. Please like, subscribe, and do all the things.
Bruh.
The soundboard has really just elevated this podcast.
It really, the soundboard is carrying the podcast.
It is.
So how you been doing, Audrey?
I'm good.
Yes, for those of you wondering, Romina is not joining us this evening because she is traveling. She is the traveling Romina once again.
She's gonna be gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, so it's just us holding it down unless we invite anybody. So,
Oh.
yeah, no, the only person we ever invite is Viper. So it's like it's either Romina or Viper at this point.
I don't think I'm in the podcast Twitter account on this computer.
I don't think I ever have been.
Oh.
I think it's been Romina holding it down the entire time.
Oh God. Wait,
So the
maybe
only
I
thing we
can
could
get on
really
my
do
phone.
is
Hold on.
the only thing we could probably really do is our own like accounts or whatever.
Oh, I got it on my phone. Let's go.
Okay.
How does Romina normally do this?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Look, that's not my division of labor. My division of labor is the soundboard.
I'm just gonna make something up. It's
My
fine.
division of labor is the intro, the outro, the soundboard,
How-
and the podcast hosting fees. That's my division of labor. Yours is doing the
Yeah,
audio
for them,
version of the.
it's- Great job. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, I need to like find. I'm gonna tweet this real fast.
Audrey is tweeting that. I just want to say hi to our live audience and to any of the audio viewers. If you ever eventually do get to hear the audio version,
Jesus.
I said what I said.
God.
Yeah. So with that in mind, tonight we're going to talk about a couple of different things going on. Me and Audrey, as a lot of you know, we have a bit of an interesting, somewhat conflicting point of view on the values of TikTok. So we'll definitely get back into that debate a little bit because there's interesting breaking news.
I actually hadn't heard about that.
Yeah. Did you read the thing? I think I sent an article about it. Did you ever peep that?
No.
I will drop it into the private chat here. FCC. Yeah, the FCC wants to ban the TikTok. The FCC wants to ban the TikTok from both the app stores, both Google, and it's actually, and this is pretty recent. There's like one, they were like touting this even like a week ago, and there's like new stuff on it. The commissioner of the FCC, June 29th. Yeah, Commissioner FCC calls on, probably share this on screen actually. I'll send it to you, but we can even share this on screen. Actually, we could start with this. We can get to the Mr. Beast stuff later. This is interesting. We can just lead with this.
What does that even mean though? Like if the FCC calls for it?
Well, let's walk through it together because it's the government. It's the government. I popped it in so we can put it on screen and we can kind of walk through it and talk to
Wait, do I have to do that?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You click the add to stream and it does the thing.
Share screen.
Well, I did the share screen. All you have to do is on the bottom is you just have to add this feed to. You click on this. You click on the bottom there, and yep. Wait, is that on yours? Well, no. Yeah, it's sharing yours. Yeah. So, but I'll follow along. But
did you want me to share? Let you share?
I mean, I could go either way is fine.
Okay, well it's up, so let's just. Do you want me to scroll?
I'll let you know. But like, so like a member of the Federal Communications Commission, that's the FCC, that's a government regulatory agency for all of you not in the know, is calling on Apple and Google to remove TikTok from their app stores over concern that user data from the wildly popular social media app is being accessed by China. Now, just for an FYI to the audience, the Trump administration brought this up back when he was in office, back in I believe it was 2020 or 2020. They brought this up in 2020, 2019, something like that. Like I think in 2020, the middle of probably summer of 2020, they brought this up. That sound about right, Audrey?
Yeah.
Like summer or fall of 2020. I was talking about it. Colin and Samir were talking about it. We were getting all these views. People thought we were fear mongering about TikTok ban, but like President Trump was really all about it. And it's like he said, and the Department of Defense was too, because they said that, hey, we feel like this is a threat and this is spyware from China, and here are all our reasons, and so on and so forth. Well, I don't know if a lot of you heard, but like Audrey, I think you did. Did you hear how like BuzzFeed has audio tapes and basically caught them in 4K? It was like a meeting. They have audio tapes from a TikTok meeting, and they were caught in 4K. And apparently the data was accessed in China, and that there's even evidence that this was true back when they promised then President Trump that it wasn't.
No.
So they basically got caught lying. They got caught lying. They got caught in 4K, past and present, that our data, the data of Americans, has been accessed by China after we were promised and given assurances that that wasn't the case. So now even the Biden administration is pursuing this, and the Federal Trade Commissioner, Federal Communications Commissioner, the FCC Commissioner under Biden, is now calling for a TikTok ban. So it's one thing when the Trump administration calls for a TikTok ban. When you have both a Republican and Democratic, administration both saying the same thing, oh well, that's something.
Yeah,
they won't agree on jack. So if they both were like, good. So yeah, if that's the case, now he can't single-handedly. As the FCC chair, he can't single-handedly compel them to ban TikTok. But as you know, that the social media platforms and these tech companies have been cooperating, if not collaborating, with the Biden administration. So, I mean, there's a very good chance that if the Biden administration asks them to do something, these platforms will do it at this point, because a lot of their policies have been reformed around requests from the Biden administration. They've been playing ball. They've been cooperating with the Biden administration, if not collaborating with them as social media platforms, which is concerning in its own right. But I mean, what do you think of all this of like, allegedly, although they were caught in 4K, ByteDance and Tencent and the Chinese government, harvesting the data of American citizens? Because everyone says, well, Facebook and Instagram do it and Google does it and everything. But those are American companies. This is China. This is the Chinese Communist Party. This is the CCP. These are people who have, there's a lot of issues there. There's a lot of human rights violations. There's a lot of things. And it's like, we're not exactly on minimal terms with them. Like I keep saying, if China invades Taiwan, it's game over. So, yeah. I mean, like, what do you as someone of the TikTok generation and a big fan of the platform, like, what are you feeling about all this?
I think it's annoying that government problems are interfering with the creator economy.
Here. Yep. I agree with that.
We get good things and it's dumb problems between countries that are getting in the way.
Well, even in our own country, COPPA screwed over a lot of YouTube creators. I'm not a fan of COPPA. I'm not a fan. And, I've talked about my concerns about the Safe Tech Act and about people wanting to change Section 230 and all this nonsense. And then we had
the thing that just happened in Canada.
Oh, God. Yeah. What was that? C-19 or something like that?
Yeah.
Is it C-19?
It's just dumb because they literally just don't. I forgot what it was. Maybe it was
basically a nationalized version of YouTube of like, hey, put more Canadian stuff on YouTube homepages of Canada and everything.
What does that even mean?
It limits the reach of creators. It doesn't help. It doesn't even help as much the Canadian YouTubers, because then that can mess up the algorithm in terms of limiting their reach outside Canada, and they would want to reach a US and UK audience so they can grow. It hurts Canadian creators and it hurts Canadian viewers and it hurts international creators and US creators. It's just stupid. It's just government getting involved in things they have no, like, leave the private sector alone, only regulate around protecting consumers from things that hurt them or are fraudulent or that are interference from like foreign nations. It's like, other than that, let the private sector do its thing and let the market decide, please, please.
Yeah.
C11.
Especially with
Nick says it's C11.
It's like,
C11.
oh.
The Canadian thing is C11. Sure. Thank you.
I get annoyed when I feel like when people like these old people just don't know what's going on. Just leave it alone. Ever since I saw that video of the guy who was asking what a Finsta was, I lost all faith in anything that has to do with the internet.
Look, when you're maybe by the time your generation grows up and sells out and is sitting in Congress, then they can regulate social media, because at least they would have grown up with it.
Yeah, exactly. But
the
that's
sitting
why
members of Congress. The sitting members of Congress. Most of the sitting members of Congress didn't even go to integrated schools, so they don't have any business deciding anything for anybody.
It's true.
I
don't know. I don't understand why people who are in charge of the internet don't know anything about it.
Yeah, no, that's the problem there. It's like, yeah, no, I'm like when it comes to government, like, I'm against ageism in the workplace. I'm for it in terms of government and public service in a minute. It's like, I feel like you ever watch Thundercats? Like, I know it's before your time, but you've heard of Thundercats before, right? Okay, so the main antagonist in Thundercats is literally a mummy that then powers himself up into basically the Hulk, and then just throws hands with our protagonist. And the thing is, his chant to get his powers so that he can go from a decrepit corpse into full blown Hulk mode, beast mode. Like, his chant for it starts out, I'll literally do the whole chant. He goes, "Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form into Mum-Ra, the ever living." And that's his whole chant. And then the ancient spirits of evil, these 4 Egyptian totems, grant him his powers, and then he just is hulking out and starts cackling like a madman, and then fights the superheroes. And the reason I bring that up is because that's the image in my head of Congress. That's the image of my head of Congress, is literally a bunch of decrepit old mummies and everything like that, calling on the ancient spirits of evil to grant them power. That's that's my personal view of Congress.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's the problem, right? It's not
wrong. I don't know.
See, there, cracking myself up. Because that imagery, it's like that imagery, right?
Oh my goodness. I just get annoyed when they do this stuff. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why. No,
it's like it's totally stupid. It's really annoying. Now, granted, I'm not cool with China, doing shenanigans. And I'm not cool with them lying and saying, "Oh, we're not doing anything. We're all right and everything. We're just a fun little social media app." And then, "Oh, we caught you in 4K lying, homie. You're harvesting data." It's like, what are you doing with that data? What are you doing? What you doing over there?
What can they really do with that?
A lot of things. For one thing, you can't deny that, because here's one of the problems with TikTok. They can control the algorithm to put whatever they want and make whatever they want popular, but they use it over there. They use it over there to censor. They censor things, and they use it to track protesters and dissidents and things like that over there. So that's not cool. But in terms of what they can do with it, one, they can harvest the data for predictive models, and also use it to feed their AI. And so doing that without our consent is really bad. But they can also use that to understand us at a very psychological level. And then they could decide to make decisions about the algorithm based on that. And so enemies of the U.S. could want to do things that cause unrest in this country. Like we had the concerns about that with Russia interference in our elections. They could be doing that algorithmically. They could algorithmically be deciding to promote things in the platform that might radicalize Americans at a cultural level, radicalize young Americans, because they could make the algorithm do that. Because remember, all these places in the U.S. accused Facebook and YouTube of radicalization and their algorithms being out of hand and everything like that. Well, TikTok being controlled by a foreign entity could do that to our people anytime they wanted, just like that. So that's what they can do with the data.
That's fun.
Yeah. And we can't sit here and we can't pretend that social media hasn't radicalized people. So
yeah. Well, what do you like? I feel like last time this happened, everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
But nothing happened.
But because nothing happened. Well, nothing happened because Trump got out of office.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened because Trump got out of office. But now you have the Biden administration. And it happened at the end of Trump's term. Biden has 2 more years, or his administration does. So the Biden-Harris administration has 2 more years. That's different. If this had happened at the beginning of Trump's term, TikTok would not be allowed in the U.S. by now. India banned TikTok. So a nation with a population size more than 3 times bigger than the U.S. already banned TikTok. That's why I've said TikTok can't scale, because if you can't reach India, you can't. If you can't reach India, you can't scale.
Yeah.
It's like almost 2 billion people you can't get to. It's like, so that's a thing. But the U.S. is where the money is. And this is where the advertising is. So if that's it, it's game over for real, for real. The app won't be destroyed because they would still have Asia, and they would, but that's it. It would just be like Baidu or one of those other Asian apps or social media platforms. It would just be their thing, which is fine. Yeah. But that's what would happen in that situation.
I don't know. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen.
Especially, and the thing is, here's why. Because also the argument back then was that, hey, there's not a U.S. company that does and provides what TikTok does. Well, now there is. Aside from, again, how you feel about the networking, the culture, and the algorithm, you have Reels and Shorts, and that's became like a regular thing now. Snapchat could absorb their market. Even technically, it could do that culturally. There's clones here in the U.S. of TikTok. I mean, still Triller, I guess. Like, so... I mean,
that's the one I was trying to talk about last time. Triller.
Yeah. Hey, Snoop Dogg and Jake Paul are investors.
Does Triller even do anything? Like, I don't think they do much.
It's literally US TikTok, and they sponsor some events. They actually did some stuff for the Jake Paul boxing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so they got money. And they got investors like Snoop Dogg and Jake Paul. And the thing is, if TikTok is really going down, I would see them being in a position to maybe absorb that market.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like where people will go, because it'll depend on whatever can get the closest to TikTok.
I feel like they would go. The thing that would make sense is just to do YouTube and Instagram and just call it a day. It's like, which I feel like TikTokers should have been doing anyway, because you should grow. Like, no one should be loyal to a platform. Not without a contract. And even then, you should have some kind of exit strategy. No one should be loyal to a platform that's not paying you for exclusivity. Look at Ludwig. Twitch didn't want to fight for him, so.
Yeah, did you see that another one went today? Lily?
Who else went?
Lily Pichu.
Oh, wow. So, like, almost all, like, so they're going to lose half of, like, they're going to lose half of offline TV if they keep going. Twitch is going to lose. I'm surprised they managed to keep Pokimane. And I think the only reason they kept Pokimane is because she's one of the biggest streamers, and she can be, if she's on Twitch, she's the face of Twitch, and she can be the biggest female streamer on Twitch. Whereas if she comes to YouTube, she's not. Valkyrie is much bigger, and it's not even close. And she already has a YouTube presence without streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
So unless they'd have to offer her a bag. I'm sure they tried. But Twitch probably was like, we'll just put our whole budget into keeping Pokimane.
Jesus.
If they lose Pokimane and they lose Hassan Piker, What do they have? They don't have Ludwig. They don't have Ninja. They don't have Dr. Disrespect. They don't have Dr. Lupo anymore. They don't have Tin the Tap Man. That whole crew's gone. So they lost the biggest names and biggest entertainers in the gaming space. Straight up. So what are they going to have? Like, I mean, right now, all they have is basically Pokimane, Hassan, XQC, and Asmongold, and that's pretty much it. And they have Amaranth, but they have they freaking practically ban her every other week for her ASMR stuff. She could just come to YouTube and not worry about it.
Ninja's back on Twitch,
but he's not signed with them exclusively.
He
might be back on Twitch, but he's not signed with them anymore.
It's kind of awesome for creators that they have that this even
bidding
works.
Wars.
Yeah. It sucks for the companies, but it's awesome.
No, it doesn't. It's great.
Well, I guess it's
they
great
have enough power.
Yeah.
They have enough power. It doesn't suck for them to just they need creators to have that leverage, and more creators need to have that leverage to where the platform wars, in my mind, the platform wars are almost over, and now it's the talent wars. Now it's fighting for the talent. It's fighting for locking down creators and paying them to be loyal. It's the bidding war for talent now. By the way, that's also what's working for me is it doesn't I'm going to be getting my views again. I'm going to be getting my views back up. I had some grace because of COVID, but now I'm going to be back into grind mode. But I
saw you made a short.
Yeah, no, I filmed 5 shorts. I've edited 3 of them. I've been posting them to Instagram, which they've been doing well. I've been posting them to Twitter, which they did all right. And eventually they will be published to my main YouTube channel. I'm at least going to do a little bit of YouTube shorts and then see how it goes. In fact, actually, you know what? I might as well. I have them sitting here in the queue, chilling in the cut.
Oh.
What if I just publish a YouTube short right now? Because I'm not going to finish editing anything else tonight, so I might as well. Let's see.
I had a very interesting conversation with a YouTube employee where I think I found something out that I probably shouldn't have found out.
Spill the tea.
I mean, this isn't confirmed because he technically just stopped talking, and that was enough of an answer.
Okay, spill the tea.
I was asking him about why there's no way to separate shorts from the main YouTube shelf.
Go on.
I was like, why is this not a thing yet? It would be so cool if you could pick what you want on your homepage. Maybe some people want shorts, maybe some people want both, or just along.
Oh, customize your homepage. You choose your own adventure.
And he just went silent, and I was like, "You don't have any opinions on this?" He's like, "Just stop talking." So if that's actually a thing that happens,
they might. So you feel like it's something that might happen?
I think maybe having, the choice of what you want featured on your homepage in terms of, but have it customized so that shorts don't look awful, because right now they look like garbage. So if you could customize your homepage in a way that, if you're a shorts only creator, then you can make it that, or if you do both, you can have them sectioned out or something. I've not had this confirmed or denied.
Interesting.
I just had a sus employee just stop talking as soon as I brought that up.
Interesting. All right, I've just published a YouTube short I published YouTube shorts to my channel before, but I deleted them because they underperformed. Now I just I don't care. I'm just gonna, because now I can just use it for fodder to say, shorts didn't work for my channel, and then that'll be a video that's oh, do YouTube shorts hurt your channel? And I'll go, here's what happened to mine.
The meta-ness.
Yeah.
So what do you think about customized homepages?
I think to a point, but I don't think YouTube would be in love with that itself. I don't think YouTube itself would be in love with it. I think that one of the problems with it is, as it is, your homepage is a unique algorithmic experience. Your homepage is a unique algorithmic experience right now.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's just that you don't have a choice on it outside of controlling it by doing, oh, don't recommend, or changing things in your history, or clearing your browsing history. So the thing is, I think YouTube likes that homepage experiences are dictated by behavior. And I think that they gain nothing, even if it'd be great for us as consumers. I don't think they gain anything by giving us control over that. They don't even give creators control over customizing their YouTube dashboard, their YouTube studio dashboard. Think about it. They can't be hurt by letting us control our dashboard and saying, I don't want to see that 1 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 thing. I don't want to see it. Like for my mental health or all that. They don't even let us control that. So them letting 2 billion humans control their YouTube experience? Nah, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, if they're trying to like, compete with TikTok with shorts, and this is something that a lot of creators are
The only thing I can
about.
do, the only thing I can see them doing is creating a For You page.
But don't they kind of technically have that
Where is it?
on the Shorts tab?
Shorts tab. What, a For You page? I don't think
Yeah.
that. If I go over
Well,
to
it's like the equivalent,
no,
where you can just scroll.
you can just scroll, but that's not the same thing as a For You page.
What do you mean?
When you go to default TikTok, before you click the For You page, default TikTok is algorithm, like, driven, like of what TikTok wants to show you. It's not based on your preferences.
But doesn't everyone use? There's no other option besides following her For You page.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's like I think the closest thing is I think they have to I don't think they have to change the subscriber feed. I think that the answer to all of this is just making your subscriptions more prominent, and also just go back to putting a from your subscriptions or something like that back at the top of the homepage or something like that.
Mm.
And then give us all the other stuff, and then give us our what we subscribe to at the top of the thing, and then give us everything the algorithm wants to feed us afterward. And I think that's the best compromise for people.
I mean, I think they might do this. I don't know.
We'll see. They say a lot of things. They say a lot of things, and then they backpedal, or they say a lot of things, and then it takes 5 years for it to manifest.
Because it just feels
which is no offense to them, because I mean, it takes forever to code things and test them.
How it looks just looks garbage. Like, I think if they seriously want to compete with TikTok, they need to make it seamless like TikTok.
Do you think that at this point the mobile app is doing too much? Does it feel like the mobile app is doing too much?
Like there's too much going on?
Yeah, I feel like the mobile app for YouTube is doing too much, and I don't think the mobile app is as easy to understand as it used to be. Which I totally get. I basically understand almost every function of this mobile app and how to do it, but I'm a power user. I do not think that I can get my mom or my youngest sister to really understand how to use the YouTube mobile app effectively. They would just be at the mercy of scrolling.
I mean, there's a lot of things I don't use on the YouTube app. Like the whole thing at the top with the different categories, I never use.
Oh, I use that because sometimes I want to see, well, is there something live right now that's pretty dope? So I like that. And then sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I only actually do want to watch Marvel stuff, or oh, I do only want to I want music, give me that, or oh yeah, I actually only want to watch home improvement videos right now. It's oh, thank you. That's a good trigger for me of oh, what do I watch? It's oh yeah, actually, yeah, let's go. So I do enjoy that. It also taught me something very interesting. It taught me that categorization in YouTube and YouTube SEO still matters, because so this is how they categorize us. These are topics and categories. So if I label a video with these things in mind, and with the fact that it could be, if I look at these bubbles and I go, oh, that's how YouTube might interpret a video and who to show it to and what they care about and what else they watch. Aha, So I do that, and I analyze other people's videos, and I analyze what bubbles show up under their videos. Like, how is YouTube interpreting their videos? So I've actually liked those bubbles, but that's because I've reverse engineer it for YouTube, like for people getting views. And like people I've told to just reverse engineer that, they've been getting views. Like smaller YouTubers, they've been getting views when they do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally would really like the different homepage option. I think that'd be cool.
My first short
People
is
wouldn't
like
have to make
it's
shorts
getting a
channels
little
or,
bit
like,
of views.
main channels.
What's up?
Like people wouldn't have to do the whole like making a shorts channel thing instead of just putting it all in one place.
If they broke up YouTube in that way, yeah, I could see I could see it. Like, I understand where you're going from, because it's like that's why I'm experimenting with my current channel in a way, because I'm like, okay, look, I already make live streams on my channel and they perform differently than my main videos, and they serve a different purpose and a different subsection of my audience that likes extremely detailed, long information or to be part of a live experience. And I've made that work. So if I've done that effectively, then what if there is a subsect of my audience, if I give it a chance, what if there's a subsection of my audience that could enjoy like shorts
stuff?
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm willing to at least make a small playlist of videos to say, look, if you're the kind of person who likes short, sweet, like things that either get you motivated, get you hyped, or introduce an idea to you, or, oh, I didn't think of that, or whatever, I'm going to put like enough of that out to say that I'm giving it a shot. And if it underperforms, it underperforms. Because then, to be honest, when people rag on me about the views on, I'm going to go like, I'm trying and experimenting with shorts, and like shorts is new. I'm throwing it at the wall, and shorts is new. It's like, it may not even be finished yet. It's not necessarily, if there's one thing we can all agree to, it's that we don't control how well a short does. And I think people can go, okay, you know what? It's a short. They either hit or miss. Like, that's like, whatever. At least you're trying. At least you're doing something. Oh, well, you usually make long videos, so I guess it makes sense that shorts didn't work on your channel and everything. Like, whatever. I'm trying it out. We'll see. I've been very inspired by what like Colin and Samir have been able to do. The one thing Colin and Samir don't do, though, is they don't do live streams. They don't do live streams, which is fine. But they make very long videos, and I think they've even premiered a video before, but they do very long videos for their interviews. Then they do regular size, medium 15 to 20 minute videos on their breakdowns, their deep dives. And then they do these shorts. So, and then on their other channel, they do clips. So I'm like, for some creators, I think it makes sense for them to separate into a shorts/clips channel, to be honest, a highlight reel type channel. I think that makes sense for some creators. In the same way, I think it makes sense for some creators to say, hey, here's my channel that's my portfolio, and here's my channel that's my vlog channel. Because the problem with making videos that underperforms is if you don't make enough content or something, or even if you do, it could screw with the numbers that your brand deals are judged off of. And that's the real reason. You want to know the real reason? I can spill the tea. The real reason, I know the truth. The real reason that the biggest creators all make shorts channels instead of publishing shorts to their main channel is they want to mess up the data and the stats that determine their brand deals. Why take chances that your average views, your average number of views per upload, your average performance for videos? Why, if your channel, if you aren't guaranteed locked into nothing but like long-term contracts, you don't mess with that. You don't play with it.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Well, almost no one does. So like, maybe that's in my video. Do YouTube shorts hurt your channel? Maybe that's what's in my video, is like, here's the reason that. Yeah, that's probably a good teaser at the beginning of the video, and saying, and by the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why your favorite big YouTubers all made a separate channel for their YouTube shorts. And it's not what you think. And then yeah, I get people to watch the end of the video because like, what? Wait, what? That's the good teaser.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I can do a hook. I can do a hook when I get there.
I can do a hook.
Yeah, I can do a hook. So like, yeah, we'll see. Because like, my big thing is the thing that's supposed to help with YouTube Shorts is theoretically they're supposed to get all this reach. They're supposed to get all this reach. They're supposed to reach a broad audience. And I think that's also the difference is if you don't make content for a broad audience, it doesn't make sense to make a short. Or rather, if the short isn't made for a broad audience, that's why you never like how I sent you guys my test runs of shorts. All of those are broad ideas for a reason because like you don't have to be like even in my audience to watch that thing, you know?
Yeah. The only every time I see channels that just do shorts, I know it obviously works, but I don't know. I feel like we could go into branding stuff. Like the turnover to like actual brand recognition seems very low.
I agree with you, but I'm not also convinced. I'm not also convinced that somebody who cuts their teeth and makes shorts is made for long form content anymore, per se. Because to be honest, were the Viners really making quality content or were they just popular?
I mean, I feel like Vine, some of the stuff it like got embedded in culture, but on like YouTube Shorts, I see so much just random stuff that isn't, you know,
You know what I've been
like
seeing in YouTube Shorts?
what?
Hot takes. Hot takes.
Mm,
I am worried. One thing I'll tell you, I was telling everyone this at VidCon, and I don't blame YouTube Shorts for this. I mean, it kind of mostly started with TikTok, but I don't entirely blame TikTok. But here's my thing. I think the vertical viral video format is dangerous to society.
oh,
I think the vertical viral video, like, think about it. Vertical viral videos, if you wanted to have any tool to radicalize young people, what would you do? A long form podcast or would you do a vertical viral video?
I mean, wasn't that the whole thing with like the on Philip DeFranco's latest one where he's talking about the abortion like herbal herbs that was not a good idea that was being spread around.
Misinformation and weaponizing and using people's panic over the Roe v. Wade stuff and all that. Yeah, exactly. It's like because if I want,
And how do you stop that?
if you want to, that's the problem with making vertical, like viral, accessible content that and that also is very easy to make with just a phone, and that whether you're qualified or not, whether you're young or old, and if you're just popular enough, it will just skyrocket and go to the moon, and you could be a nobody, and have all this reach and all this influence and all this power. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. At least with YouTube, you have to actually really, really grind and suffer for years to earn the right to an audience, and almost nobody goes viral on YouTube for nothing anymore. Like it's in like someone who goes viral and gets like 1 million subscribers out of nowhere, that rarely happens anymore. And it's been rarely happening for like years and years and years. And when they do, it's for more innocent stuff. You have to be like a Minecraft YouTuber, or you have to be a travel YouTuber or something like that. Or you have to be like someone who's mowing lawns. Like it's innocuous. It's like innocent. It's benign as hell content. But with like TikTok, you can have the most radical like thing. Like politics TikTok is weird. And now it's infecting YouTube too. And it can just go like to the moon with like these hot takes, the divisiveness, the politics, the rhetoric. And there's no real, as long as you stay within the community guidelines, there's no vetting mechanism for any of it. And you could be spreading misinformation or radicalizing people.
Whoops, I didn't realize I was muted.
Yeah.
I just sent you a link to a channel that does shorts and long ones, and they both get views.
Oh, I've seen Isaiah's stuff before. Yeah.
what do you think about like his stuff? Because it's obviously working, and he's able to do both. The
What?
content
Who was
itself
he?
is like
Who was
very
he?
random.
Who was he? Who was he? Like, and how long has he been?
He did like a Mr.
So
Beast
he's
challenge
been on
where
YouTube he's been on YouTube
he
since
hasn't been on YouTube
2016.
that long though. Like
2016
actually
is
doing
pretty
it
long.
seriously.
Oh, but he wasn't making. Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I actually know. I like. Yeah, he said that he did like. He was in the Mr. Beast video where the winner got like 1 million subs, but he lost.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys. Yeah, it's like 6 of them. Yeah. Now I've been keeping tabs on a couple of them. Good for him. Yeah, he's done something with it. He got more than his. He grew more than Zealous Matt, the guy who won the challenge. Who I know him a little bit. Like met him before. He's a sweet kid. Like he this guy Isaiah has grown more than the person who actually won.
And he's literally growing
But
mostly
it is
from
mostly shorts.
But my
Shorts.
question is,
Yeah,
he's I worked with him on a video once, not
he's
editing, like
crushing it.
shooting.
Yeah, he's
He
crushing
seems like he's crushing it and stuff. I'm just like, the content is so random. You know what I
But
mean?
he got that Mr. Beast audience though. Like
Yeah.
even without the shout out, he got the attention, and he was already and Mr. Beast. The people Mr. Beast picked for that challenge were people already aligned with his audience, and we know how big that audience is. So I mean, there's a big
Yeah.
pool to draw off of.
True.
This guy is gonna get, and this guy is making vertical, like he's making shorts, which means he's getting the most reach a person can get. And his production value and editing is pretty high. With this many subs, he has the resources, so he's going to get to 10 million pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
which is crazy.
But I guess it's kind of like the thing with TikTok, where it's like, is 10 million followers on TikTok the same as YouTube? And the answer is no.
But
then
10 million
the same question is 10 million on Shorts the same as?
It's not the same as if you did long form. I agree with you, but it is still more valuable than if you did on TikTok. And there is more prestige and status because watch this. All right, if Isaiah had 6 million on TikTok, he still wouldn't have much to show for it. But with YouTube, and since he does make regular content and he has this audience, he's making decent money for one thing. He's making decent money for one thing without even the brand deals side of it. So that's number one. Number two, YouTube is a status symbol by itself. And now this guy has a silver play button to show for it and a gold play button to show for it. And he can get a diamond play button to show for it. And that puts him in a tier of the smallest number of people in the world, you know? And so that matters quite a bit. It matters quite a bit. So it's like, it's really,
I think I see a lot of like content like this on YouTube Shorts that I don't really see as much on TikTok.
Interesting.
You know, where it's like there's the text on screen thing, and they kind of do like a random activity. Like I feel like on TikTok it's more, there's more variety, if that makes sense. I think that's why I don't watch as many shorts.
I could see that.
Because like YouTube Shorts almost has a formula. Like they all do the same sort of like, the text on screen, fast like narration. You know, unless you're watching like a hot take or like a news video, then it might be a little different. But they all have very similar formats, which is interesting because that doesn't really happen on TikTok. TikTok is a lot more like organic content from.
I would agree, but people. YouTube has I don't think so. I get what you're saying. There's no such thing as a TikTok meta.
But it seems like there's already a YouTube meta.
There will always be for anything you do on YouTube, including like live streams. Yes, there is theoretical variety to live streams, but like even live streams kind of have a YouTube meta. To some extent. You know, to some extent.
I think that's one of the reasons though people like TikTok. Is that there isn't really a meta.
I think that there's a meta to individual niches in TikTok, whereas there's a general YouTube meta, and then it goes down into niches and subcategories and like all kinds of taxonomy. But yeah, for YouTube Shorts, there's a meta game, and there's a couple of formats that work in YouTube Shorts. And yes, I would agree with you that there's a stunning lack of variety of how shorts play out. But YouTube Shorts is younger than TikTok by a lot. YouTube Shorts has only been with us since 2020.
Yeah.
Late
I feel like part of it is getting like normal people to post content on there just for fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we burn through normal people trying to do YouTube pretty quickly. Whereas, because if you're a normal, regular, person, and you do TikTok for a year and you were consistent about doing TikTok for a year, you'd have something to show for it. That may not happen with YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. So I think YouTube churns out normies just like that. It churns out normies.
That's one of the things that makes them so
I had to
different.
break it to you. If you're not special, don't do YouTube.
If you're not special,
don't do YouTube. You'll be disappointed.
But I guess like when we're talking about like TikTok disappearing and stuff, if there's these big differences in like people or types of creators, even if we want to call like normies creators who are just making stuff for fun.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm like not as sure about if people will transfer over or like want to watch.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
What do you mean, what are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do? I mean, if it goes away, they don't have this
they might not really have an option, but they might also not have enough of a drive,
to even bother. No, I agree with that one. And that one is a little concerning, obviously. That one's a little bit more concerning. So I do agree with that on some level. And I don't know how to feel about that, to be honest with you.
Because we're the normies gonna go. Like, I feel like honestly Snapchat feels like safer for like normies because it's not.
I agree.
It's the same type of like, it's for my friends. It's not like I'm starting a YouTube channel. Like starting a YouTube channel.
You don't have to just be. You don't have to be an influencer. That's the thing. I feel like, and by the way, I feel like that's the other thing with Instagram. I feel like normal people can still have an Instagram.
Yeah, but it gets like mixed in, and like young people, some of them don't even have Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, I think people still use Snapchat with their friends.
Yeah, I think that no, wait, actually no, young people do have an Instagram. And you know why? Well, like teenagers do. Like absolutely teenagers
do, but like the young end is starting to not even really use it.
Good, because preteens shouldn't be on any of these platforms.
True.
People who aren't in high school, you shouldn't be allowed to be on these platforms. You can't be on these platforms legally until you're 13, number one. Number two, they shouldn't be on it until they're in high school, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Unless their parents are doing that with them, and then it's like, okay, then it's going to be hopefully totally wholesome, so then I'm fine with it. But it's like, no, because it's not good. It's not good. Let's be very clear. It's not good for young people to be on these platforms.
I agree, but it's still going to happen.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
It's like, is there an age limit on TikTok?
Huh?
Is there technically an age limit on TikTok?
I think terms of service wise, you have to be, I think to be in compliance with COPPA, everyone has to be 13. Well,
that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, but that's them breaking terms of service. So it's like, okay, but as far as posting, no one should be. Do you realize? And again, in TikTok, they're definitely making themselves vulnerable to child exploitation at that point. Like it's a terrible idea. It's not safe for them. There are predators out there. It's not safe. I'm not even joking. I was just joking. Before TikTok became this media darling, before it became the Gen Z and millennial media darling where all the reporters want to gush over it, the reality is people actually used to write concerning articles about TikTok and about its influence on youth culture, the predators, and all these other things that were going on. Like people actually have had concerns about TikTok for a while, and then somehow stan culture overwhelmed all of that, and then no one ever wanted to say anything bad about TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know. We didn't even talk about the Mr. Beast thing. It's
Oh,
only 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, we can talk
I
about
feel like
it.
this kind of goes
Well,
into
it
the
goes right
children.
into, yeah, no, it goes right into that. So I'll let you lead on this one.
Well, you sent me that like a short of the Joe Rogan Mr. Beast interview.
Yeah.
Of him telling his story about like lying about going to school and just making videos and then eventually moving out, right?
His mom gave him an ultimatum. It's like, because thing is, his mom, he did YouTube since he was a kid, and it's all he wanted to do. And he was like so obsessed with YouTube to the point to where YouTube not working out was making him depressed. He was like, and he then says going to school is the only thing that made him more depressed than YouTube not growing. And so by the time he was 18, and like, okay, he feels like he's getting somewhere a little bit with YouTube. He's got some subscribers. He's got something going on. He's making a little bit of money. His mom says, go to community college or move out. Because she wants what's best for him, and she doesn't know if this thing is going to work out. And in many ways, it almost didn't. And it's like, and he didn't have the money to move out. So he's like, okay, I'll go. And then he goes for a couple of weeks and he's like, this sucks. And he says that he hated it. He says that like school made him borderline in the Rogan interview. And I don't know how much of this is hyperbole or how serious he is. It sounded pretty serious. He said that school made him borderline suicidal, that's like, okay, that's concerning, like in some ways, because again, I have to wonder, all right, are we joking because it's Rogan, or is it hyperbole? Because that's like someone who was suicidal in high school, that's very, that hits a nerve a little bit. It's like, okay, how serious are we? Like, we flirting with it, or it's like, or is it just a lot of depression, or is it just an idea running through your head at the time? What's going on here? And like, what's
like, there's just a lot of, I don't know.
So then he
called school like dumb. Like he said, like learning dumb things in school, which I get where he's coming from, kind of, but also when I like listen to that, I'm thinking about like kids who,
because his story and it worked out for him, and it's great, and I have nothing but love for Jimmy. He's a great dude, and he's been nothing but nice to me. But when
you do like blanket statements on a Joe Rogan interview, calling learning everything you learned in school dumb, there's going to be a ton of kids out there who are like, school's dumb.
You've seen that I've had to talk high schoolers out of dropping out of high school, wanting to do YouTube, and you can guess who their idol is.
Well, yeah, and that's like dangerous. It's literally dangerous.
Yeah, college is optional. High school is not optional. High school is not optional. High school is not optional.
Like, it's hard to, when I guess if you're in an interview like that, being like, this was my experience, don't like copy me.
Well, I don't think he'd ever say that high school. I don't think he'd ever say that high school. I don't think he'd ever advocate ever for anyone.
Obviously, like, and he finished high school. If you asked him if like going to college to be a doctor was, it's the fact that he just phrased it like that.
Didn't he do a whole video where it's like choose between college and this big bag of money, like, which is fine. That one's fine, because like, hey, look, I tell people all the time, most of y'all, maybe you don't go to college, maybe you don't start your adult life in debt, maybe you go to community college like me and Jimmy, but like maybe you guys, unlike me and Jimmy, actually finish. Then like, and number two, maybe again, I think that for most people, their best option the first adult years, look, college will always take your money. That's my thing, is like, look, if you believe that college is the path to a better life, you could always test it. You could always work for the first 2 years, because college will always be there. You're 17, 18. There's nothing wrong with working until you're 19 or 20 in the real world and starting your adult life with $0 in debt. Ask your parents for that if they can, like, don't kick me out at 18. If I was in college, you'd let me come home on the weekends. Look, I'm going to go to work. I'm not against being educated. I'm against being in debt. And so if you didn't get a scholarship, maybe the answer is, hey, mom, dad, college isn't off the table, but what if I take debt off the table? And since they will always take my money, I will always be a viable customer. What if I actually just work the next couple of years and I save up a bunch of money and we look and revisit what's right for me? And the thing is, if in 2 years of me working in the real world, I don't know what I want to do with myself fully, and you want me to go to school, at least I don't have to go into a massive amount of debt to do it. That's not an unreasonable conversation to have. I was one of the people who was like, when you wanted to leave school both times, I was in support of it, because I just didn't think for what you wanted to do as a creative person. I didn't feel like you could get anything more out of school than you could get out of your network. because thank God you already had it. If you already have a network, I don't think that there's enough upside to go into school, even if you don't have to go into debt, or if your parents are willing to pay for it, that's one thing. But if your parents are willing to pay for you to go to college, but you don't feel like that's for you and it won't make you happy, I feel like they're better off investing that money in your first property and you just going and starting work and then just like have real estate, build wealth, and just work and just pay a mortgage and sublet the other rooms in your house and call it a day. Because what are we all doing? What are we all doing? The only reason we go and we get a career and we get a job is to supplement our lifestyle. All we do with getting a career and job is we're trying to supplement our lifestyle. We're trying to raise and elevate our value, and we're trying to eke some validation out of our abilities or our personality. That's what we're really all trying to do, is we want to be validated for our abilities or our personality or our identity or whatever, and we want to live a comfortable lifestyle. I think that there are cheaper ways to accomplish all of that than going $60,000, $80,000, $90,000 in debt in college, and then still not having that lifestyle, not having that house, that mortgage, or that apartment, or living where you want to live and doing what you want to do, to go into debt, to not be living where you want to live, doing what you want to do, still not have a strong network of people that you respect and admire that can help you achieve your goals. There are a lot better ways to invest money or even blow money. If you're going to blow money and you're going to go into debt and not have those things, I'd rather you literally just travel the damn world and have lived the best times of your life and partied in like every club on every continent or whatever or something. I'd rather you just have a scrapbook of memories if you're going to go $100,000 into debt and still not have a house, a mortgage, a lifestyle you want, the career you want, the network you want. If you're going to go $100,000 into debt, I'd much rather you blow it on travel and experiences and vacations and booze and being on yachts, to be honest with you. And I don't even like that stuff that much. I don't even like that stuff that much. And I still think it's a better use of $100,000 than going to college.
That's a great quote. Instead of going 100K in debt for school, just go party.
I don't even like partying or club culture, hookup culture, and I still think that it'd be a better way to blow $100,000 than college at this point, because
especially if it's something creative. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the argument I was making. With
build a business. About, like, you could buy a house or build a business.
I was talking with one of my friends about film school, and I've come to the conclusion with film school that if you go to, because one of the big like draws of film school is network. Like that's what they always say. I'm like, if you can't network on your own without film school helping you, then you're not gonna make it in the entertainment industry.
Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna somehow stop being an introvert, and all these rich snobs are gonna welcome you because what? You have the same school ID badge as them? Come on.
But that, like, I remember when I was looking at film school, that was like one of the big appeals was the networking opportunity.
You want to network? You better off buying one of Gary's V friends and getting in the Discord server and going to VCon. Than like I was talking to one of my friends and I was saying, you know what? If I said this publicly, people would call me a fake guru and stuff like that. But I'm like, but actually, probably not, because I could probably, like, if I talk to Spencer, he'd probably agree with me on this because he understands the value of networking a lot. Like, because he's in Vegas and he has a great network and he understands like what being in the Vegas real estate community like really can do for you and what those connections mean. So he'd be like the one person who wouldn't call me a fake guru for this, but it's like, I believe personally that if you have like $3,000 or something like that, right? I believe that like there's no college course you're going to take, or there's no access to college, or there's no college event, or no way that that's going to give you a better network for the investment of money than just spending like $3,000 and getting Gary V's NFT V friends. And the reason I say that is because it's not a pro NFT thing as much as it's that Gary V's NFT is just a ticket for 3 years. It's like $3,000 and it's a ticket for 3 years to an exclusive conference called VCon. The people who have that disposable income without a loan are the people that you want to network with. and they're people with social media, and no one's going to VCon that doesn't have like a social media following of some kind. There's so many people there with a social media following. There's so many big influencers. There's so many people from agencies there, and it connects you. You get to meet Gary. You get to meet people from Vayner, more importantly, in my opinion, from Vayner Media. And remember, they're an advertising agency. The reason he throws this conference also is he has a speaking, a talent management company, a public events company, a speaking engagement company, and an advertising company. Okay, he has all these companies. The people who are speakers there, you could get into their network. You can get into the network of their super fans, if nothing else, and you can be in the Discord server. That's more useful, being in that Discord server, being at that physical event, getting selfies with those people, and then putting that on Instagram, and then attracting your network of people by serendipity, because now you've increased your 6 degrees of separation in a way that actually matters, with people who could actually do something for you. People who, if you write a book, will have you on their podcast. Like, that actually freaking matters. Or if you, again, you're a film person, well, there's all these people here who like film for influencers or edit for influencers. You can meet all of the, so you're better off going to something like a VCon, or going to Go with Video Live in Vegas with Sean Cannell, or going to Vid Summit. And like, you see what I'm saying? Like, these conferences in the creator economy are more valuable for networking for creative people than any big name art school you could ever go to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Vid Summit is like what, $1,000?
Yeah.
Like, that's well, that's basically what I did. I just kept going to Vid Summit when I was in it / and out of school, because I don't know, it was probably the time I learned the most. It was definitely worth that. Like,
I would say go to like Vid Summit, go to like Adobe Max, go to NAB. If you're a filmmaker, go to NAB. If you're a filmmaker, go to NAB, go to Adobe Max, go to Vid Summit, go to like, because the network of people that you could be introduced to. Because by the way, also there's these brands there. They all need people to make content, and they all need people to film commercials and ads. Where do you think, like, money? You're not gonna, like, you realize how hard it is as a filmmaker to make money on creative work? Do you realize that you supplement all of that by making ads? Ask Matt Diavella, ask Sarah Dici. Like, to a lesser extent, me and Justine Azarak, we made our money freelancing before going full-time as creators.
Yeah. I mean, that's how most people do it in some way. Not a lot of people just jump straight into it before they go to school or something, you know?
Yeah. If you're a camera person in general, even if you're not a photographer, if you're a camera person in general, go to Shutterfest. It's like less than
Shutterfest.
Shutterfest. Remember, I spoke there like twice. I spoke there in like 2017 and like 2018. It's the camera event that I go to. It's the camera expo that I go to. So it's this 3-day event. You can shoot models. Remember how like all those model shoots? It's whenever I go. So what I do is I go to St. Louis. I go to St. Louis, Missouri. And I go to Shutterfest, Sal Sincata's event, Shutter Magazine. And what happens is you can shoot photos and models. They also have all the camera companies send a representative there, and they all send all this gear. So you can borrow and try out any gear from any camera manufacturer. They all are there. All the cameras, all the lenses, all the third-party accessories, all of them, right? And then you can also have models, and you can do these photo and video shoots with these models. And so that's covered in your cost. And then on the last day, they have an event where they teach you about the business of being a creative person. So like there's, and they have all these speakers and everything. And I was there for that, teaching people about social media marketing. So going there is a great way to build a network. That's a fantastic, and you build your portfolio. You get to build your portfolio and build a network at that event. I want to do something similar for creators one day. One day I want to do that for creators, where like you come and you will not leave until you are like a better producer, a better video editor, a better cinematographer.
You're not allowed to leave.
Like, you know, but yeah, something like that. It's like, yeah, but only 3 days, up to 3 days. Like, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. So, yeah,
I mean, there's also stuff like Discord servers that are such a great option for people if you can't travel.
I still think that in person is the best, but yeah, if not, then yeah, Discord servers. Like,
I don't know. I'm completely like, I feel like before with like film school specifically, I was more in the it depends category. Now I'm like completely in the no category. I don't know. Unless you like want to get out of your hometown, I
I agree
That's
with
like the
that.
only reason. That is actually the
I
only
agree
reason.
with getting out of your hometown. I agree maybe sometimes sometimes you got to get out of your house.
Yeah.
And so for stuff like that, yeah, bet. I'm good. Like I got you. So that for me would make sense in terms of like what people have going on. Like depending on what they have going on in their life, I could see that. That works for
But
me.
that's unless you got like a free ride, I honestly don't really know.
Yeah,
And
no,
even then, it's debatable.
yeah, and then it's the debate. Like you got to ask yourself, what is the point? What are you trying to accomplish? Because again, why do we all go through this? Why do we all do this? And what again? And our parents want, because again, even Jimmy, going back to Mr. Beast, Jimmy's mom didn't want to crush his dreams. She just wanted her boy to be okay. And they were in a small town, Greenville, North Carolina. Like she doesn't know what YouTube like really is at the time. She's supportive and she wants him to pursue his dreams, but at the time she doesn't know that this is going to be successful. She knows that he needs a backup plan, and the backup plan is you can do this. I'm not stopping you from doing YouTube part-time. I'm not telling you stop doing YouTube, focus on your school. She's not giving him an ultimatum to choose between YouTube and college. She's making him choose between full-time YouTube before it's making full-time money in college.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because Jimmy, I don't think he was even willing really to do anything else.
No.
Right? Like he was doing only YouTube. So
no, and there was no, and like going to college was a what am I going to college for? What degree am I actually even getting? I'm taking general ed classes because he never wanted his entire, aside from maybe potentially, oh, if I'm good enough at sports, but he realized very quickly he's not. Like he never wanted anything else. I think there are too many kids though that hear that and then convince themselves that they don't want anything else. And here's the other difference. He actually had the talent. And again, he didn't just not only want anything else, he dedicated himself to studying. Like Jimmy was sitting there watching videos and studying me, Daryl Eves, and people like that talk about YouTube and studying big YouTubers. He was studying YouTube coaches. He was studying the algorithm and everything like that. He was studying YouTube. And that's why Daryl's still his mentor to this day. Like the stuff, you will not find something in a Mr. Beast interview learning about YouTube that contradicts anything that me and Daryl have ever said for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like remember that study or whatever about like what kids want to do now when they grow up and everyone's like influencer. It's just, it makes me a little scared because I wonder how many people are doing this.
We need people to do other things. We need people to do other things. And again, you and I have met people to whom the answer really is, this should be a hobby for you. This is not your career.
Yeah.
Which is a hard conversation to have, by the way.
Like I was at a party thing at VidCon and this one girl was talking to someone, I don't remember what he did, about and asking because she was an artist and she was like, I'm feeling burnt out making TikToks. But like I want to keep sharing my art. And the guy was like, yeah, well, because you're an artist, not a creator. And like that was kind of
you're an artist, you're not a TikToker, you're
like
an artist.
It's almost like especially, and that's not a bad thing. I think for a lot of people, like creating can be just a vessel to like share whatever other stuff they're doing, and that's awesome. It's just I think a ton of people feel like bad when they're like, why am I feeling burnt out making videos? Because you're a painter.
Let me ask you something. Am I a YouTuber or am I someone who's on YouTube?
Both.
Really? All right, could you elaborate?
Well, what do you mean someone who's on YouTube? Because that could be anyone.
Not necessarily. I mean, technically, yes, but there's a difference between okay, let me put it to you like this. Jimmy is a YouTuber. Marquez is a YouTuber. Like Ryan Trahan is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And for them, the identity of being a YouTuber encompassing what they do, if it wasn't for like even the general public or whatever, and it's getting close to where they're just like, again, proud to say, no, I'm a YouTuber. Like, not, I'm a filmmaker, and I
Yeah.
publish to the internet or nothing like that, or
Or
it's
even
like,
just like YouTuber versus creator, because you can be both, but like I think it depends on like what you primarily do.
okay. Let me ask you this. See, I agree more with that. I got the hat. I'm a creator. I'm a creator, and I'm on YouTube. And I was a creator before there was ever a YouTube, and I was a creator on the internet before there was ever a YouTube. And I actually had a bigger audience on Twitter for a good minute before my audience outgrew it on YouTube, which it happened to do. And it's like, and Twitter's my second biggest platform. But and I actually used to get pretty good hits on my website, which nobody seems to be capable of doing anymore. Is I could actually get hits on my website back in the day. So, which no one seems to be capable of doing anymore. I digress. Actually, and I had stuff printed in magazines. So, like, I mean, my point is, you can see that again, the money would be different. I'd be doing it in a different way, but it's like if YouTube itself as a platform disappeared tomorrow, my identity doesn't go with it.
Yeah.
There are people that we can't say that about.
Yep.
The whole of now, again, YouTube did the most for me and scaled me and gave me all these opportunities, but YouTube itself doesn't represent and encompass the totality, or even I would argue the majority of my overall ability to create value in my contributions or any of that, or like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that, like, I'm not going to, but I could stop. I could probably still make the same amount or more money. I could stop, but I'm not going to.
But also, isn't it because you did this that you could continue to do it? Like, that people would still want to pay you for YouTube coaching?
I mean, Daryl doesn't hardly upload anymore, and that hasn't slowed him. But Daryl owns multiple businesses, granted, but like it doesn't stop. And then he gets to, he has worked with Mr. Beast, and he's partnered with them, and they own Vid Summit together.
Yeah.
There's obviously I wouldn't stop tomorrow. It's that I'd build some other vehicle that does something, and I wouldn't really stop. But it's like, but you get my point. Is like I could do other things and be valuable. I mean, I would be valuable to brands on the purely a consultancy level, and I could make, like, okay, what do you think I would make more, brand deals or consulting?
Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yep, and it's not even close. Like, I would do more on consulting, and it's not even close.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why when I see bigger channels, especially shorts ones, that I'm like, like how.
And again, the coaching is like, you don't have 500,000 subscribers. Well, I got it. I have a silver play button. You don't. All right, coach with me. That's it. That's the only really thing you have to do.
But that's why I'm like kind of concerned with the big shorts channels, because I'm like, how are they,
the social proof, they get the leverage like so easily.
Or even just like, doing, because I guess with our niche or with the like filmmaking people, it's easier because you can do like affiliate links and blah, blah, blah. Like you could do tutorials for people, or just like being able to do other work.
I don't think short form vertical video. I don't think vertical viral video content. I don't think it's a sustainable career at all. I've already said that. I don't believe it's a sustainable career at all. I think it's a window of time at which you make your money, and it's like, I hope you're really good at investing.
Yeah.
Or you have to spin it off and then become the face of somebody else's company.
Yeah.
And then you take a salary, or have a long-term contract or whatever. Might as well say it's a salary. Like, and you do that, and then you become an investor, or you start managing other people. And then by managing them, you get a cut of their money because you bring new influencers younger than you into the fold. You teach them everything right before you're irrelevant, and you get a cut of their money in perpetuity, and you keep doing that. You basically do what the record labels do. I mean, that was Jake Paul's plan.
Yeah.
It's a good plan, poorly executed.
Ooh.
Which I think mostly came down to
Something printing?
Yeah, I think somebody decided to print something.
Oh, your printer is possessed.
No, my printer's wireless.
Oh. That's good to know.
So yeah, so I mean, I feel like, I feel like interesting.
Sorry, I was yelling at my cat.
No, I'm still monitoring these shorts views.
How's it doing?
It's underperforming compared to my normal videos, but it's also got a superior click-through rate to them. The traffic source thing is interesting that it's going like it hit the shorts feed, believe it or not, and initial views came from the shorts feed in like the first hour, and it hit the shorts feed because I uploaded. That's the other thing. I upload my shorts a couple days in advance as private. I use the Shorts app. That's why I sent them from my computer to my phone. Thank you, Apple. And then upload them through the Shorts app and then do all the things because that's the workflow. And interestingly, so far, the little bit of comments have been positive and the feedback has been good. The like ratio is pretty good, 96% like ratio.
Nice.
Which is not, it's not bad. It's not my channel average. So far, the average view duration is 45 seconds and it's a 50-second video. So the average view duration is really strong with this one. So
Cool.
There's that. The reach in terms of impressions so far is, I mean, it's got 400 views. It's apparently reached 4.6K impressions. So the click-through rate says that it's a 6% click-through rate, but you and I know that it's almost a 10% click-through rate because I just ignore what that percentage number says. I just do the math and go, what's the actual click-through rate? Because I don't like or know how they're measuring that. So I just rather do the raw numbers than trust that. So I'm like, so this has potential. But like I said, this time I'm not going to delete the short. I'm going to let it ride. And who knows, it might go bigger later down the road for the way the shorts algorithm works. Who knows, right? So like I said, I'm going to do like maybe 3 to 6 shorts this month. I'm going to do my live streams every weekend this month. And I'm going to try to post regular videos every week, like 1 or 2 a week. Get my content out, balance my channel, because I'm going to try and see if a balanced approach to the channel works of like, okay, what if I upload 1 or 2 videos a week? What if I upload a short or 2 every week? What if I do a live stream every week? What if I balance out the channel with using every format that YouTube allows for? And I use the community tab every day. So I literally will be a daily content creator because I use the community tab every day, 1 to 2 times a day. I'm making shorts twice a week. I'm doing a live stream a week, and I'm making like 2 regular videos a week. So it's like, this is a way to balance content. And then if it doesn't, turn out, I can cut back the shorts a little bit, keep up the live streams. And, maybe I post 1 short a week. And then if that doesn't, like if shorts still aren't popping after I've done like 12 shorts, I'll wait till there's a new update to shorts or until I have a new way that I want to make or film them. And then I'll try another batch of 3 at a time, do 6 of them, see how it performs. And then, we'll just try it. We'll just make a library of shorts to where it's like, because again, I look at like Sarah Dici has at least 6 shorts. I mean, I want to say that I gave shorts an honest try. And the thing is, if they underperform, I can just say, well, here's how shorts did for my channel. And so if you're a creator of like, a medium size and everything like that, and you've been making other content, maybe don't feel pressure to do shorts. It doesn't work for everybody. So at least have data. I'll have something to show. I'll have something because I don't want to really, I've done shorts before and I've done it on other channels of mine with mixed results, but it's like, I want to give shorts on my main channel an honest try so that I can even go back to YouTube and say, it's like, okay, hey, make shorts more consistent, or hey, shorts are bullshit. What are you doing pushing it on everybody? It's like, it doesn't do anything for some of us. It doesn't do anything if you're not an entertainer, or if you're not a conspiracy channel, or if you're not a fact of the day or fact of the, I'll be able to say that because they'll be like, well, how do you know? Did you try? Did you do it enough?
Have something to back it up with.
I'm like, how many times is enough, guys? Do I have to do it? It's like, how many times is enough? And then the other thing is, what I could always do, because shorts are working for me on Instagram. They're killing it on my Instagram. And it seems to be even getting me more Twitter engagement. If it just doesn't work out on my main YouTube channel, I did make a Roberto Blake highlight channel that we were planning to use to cut clips for the podcast. I can do clips and shorts. And I could just say, hey, I've got kind of more or less a shorts only channel. And then I could go, oh, because if they say, well, Roberto, like you do 100 shorts before you criticize it, make 100 shorts before you criticize it. Fine, I'll do it on a highlights channel. And then they'll see it's like, oh, my shorts only channel actually performed.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they can't promise us anything with shorts right now.
Yeah.
And it's new. Remember when live streams used to actually hurt your YouTube channel? It took a while before, and they didn't want to admit it. And then it took a while and they fixed it.
Yep. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, the other thing we're talking about, though, it's like, I don't think Jimmy is a problem. And even with what he said, the problem I have is how people, how people will hear it in their own head and internalize it.
But that's also, you know, when you are talking about stuff like that, I think being aware of how people are going to interpret it is important.
That's the problem with it being, the thing I sent you is a short of like a
hour.
Because
he could have said it before. He could have, I'm sure he probably said it at some point, like, not everyone should do this. Yeah. Because it's a short, it gets cut out.
Exactly. It's like, that's why I kept saying, like, I feel like there's two things that require a massive amount of context that ruined Gary Vee's brand with young people. Shorts and NFTs, because both of those things require context. Both of those things require a massive amount of context. And that's why, even again, I was more reluctant and hesitant to do shorts, less so even because of how I felt it would perform, because again, my videos don't always perform anyway, which is annoying. But I was more concerned, as I told you, with the fact of, I feel that anyone who does how to make money online or education type, like either you do education and they ignore you, or you do entrepreneur stuff, they call you a fake guru, or they complain that you are selling a pipe dream or you're oversimplifying.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, that was, I don't know, short form, you gotta be careful with context or with the clips you put together, because it's so easy to just, you know, for people to not get the full idea. But hopefully, like, if someone was serious enough with this Mr. Beast thing about college, they'd go and watch the full thing. Like,
you would hope so, right?
You would hope.
One can only hope. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's rough, because I also understand. It's like, look, college is overpriced right now. I mean, we could definitely have a conversation about that. Yep, college is overpriced. Yeah. College is overpriced. A lot of people are not getting what they felt they were promised out of it. People are unhappy. It's not giving them the life that they, that they envisioned for themselves. It's like, I mean, there's a reason I didn't stick with it, and there's a reason that I didn't go into debt over it. You know, so
yeah,
it is what it is.
Bruh.
What a perfect way to wrap up the podcast.
Yep. All right, so let's close it out. Thank you for listening to the No Something Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing. Tune in next week, where it will be us once again, your duo, as we have a traveling Romina right now. We'll catch you at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Until next time, Nop.